Les Brown.
Thank you. How many have major goals that you'd like to achieve? Raise your hands, please. Great. I want you to think about your personal goals, your financial goals, and your social contribution. Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left as you think about your goals and dreams and say to them, you've got to be hungry. Do that right now. And the reason that you have to be hungry is that you're going to get a lot of pushback. A lot of things are going to happen that you cannot anticipate. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. Things are going to happen to you, and things are going to happen to people that you care about. So I'm going to share with you how to dominate in this age of artificial intelligence. A lot of people are intimidated by artificial intelligence. They're talking about it's going to be replacing jobs, over 300 million jobs around the world. Well, I came from the era of Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. They had a song called Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, Baby. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you are the real thing. Let's do that right now. Yes, because Steve Jobs said, and he was just a master storyteller, he said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. With all the technology that we have, here's what we know. When you share your story, people are looking at you and they're thinking. They want to identify with you. They can't identify with artificial intelligence. They want to relate to you. There are things that you've gone through that ChatGPT does not know anything about. I call it Charlene. And they want to connect with you. People can't connect with artificial intelligence. You have emotions, you have a feeling. So I'm going to share with you how to use artificial intelligence with your brand story and how to dominate in the marketplace, because you are the real deal. People are going to be looking at you, how you present yourself, how you connect with them. You can't correct unless you connect. And this is a time that Peter Drucker said something that's very important, that we must unlearn, learn, and relearn. In school, they taught us a lot of stuff that we can't use in this era of accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. They measured our intelligence based upon our ability to memorize. When I was in the 5th grade, I was recognized as being labeled educable mentally retarded. I was put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, and I failed again, and I was in the 8th grade. I don't have any college training, but I had something going for me that I'm encouraging you to do. As you think about your goals and dreams, I want you to think about someone in your life that loved you, that cared for you, that was there when you needed them, and they helped you when you couldn't help yourself. My twin brother and I, we were born in an abandoned building in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. When our mother went into labor, they drove her to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Mind you, I'm 80 years old. So in 1945, on February the 17th, on that day, Jackson Memorial Hospital said, you can't come here. We don't accept colored people. So they found an abandoned building and gave birth to us on the floor in this abandoned building, 62nd Street, Northwest 17th Avenue. And Mr. Bannister, who was a social worker, someone contacted him and said, this lady had a set of twins in this building, and she needs some help. She wanted to put them in foster care. And he had a friendship with my godfather, Mr. Moss, and said, this lady want to give her kids up to foster care. Didn't you tell me Mamie Brown want to raise a child? He said, yes. So he called Mamie Brown. I said that God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. All that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. He said, Mamie, a lady had some twins. You said you want a boy. Would you take 2? And she said, yes. And so he said, get dressed. And he drove her out there. And he said that my birth mother and Mamie looked at each other and said, will you take care of my boys? And she said, yes. You promise not to separate them? Yes. And he said, she got real close and looked in her eyes. You swear to God you will take care of my boys? And she said, yes, I swear. I've never had any children myself. And so at that moment, she gave us to Mrs. Mamie Brown. She walked to the car. Mr. Moss opened the door. She came, looked in the window, and kissed us one last time, turned her back to the car, hit it, said, Mr. Moss, go. That was a transformative moment. How many of you have had a transformative moment in your life? There are moments in life, there's before this and there's after this, and after this, nothing is ever the same again. Mr. Moss said when he looked at my mother, he knew her life would never be the same again. But that also happened for me. After being labeled educable mentally retarded, I was in a classroom looking for a friend of mine. And this instructor, Mr. Leroy Washington, he said, young man, go to the front of the room and work this problem out for me. I said, sir, I can't do that. Why not? I'm not one of your students. I'm just here looking for MacArthur. He said, do what I'm asking you to do anyhow. I said, I can't, sir. And the other students started laughing, saying, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT. And he asked, what's DT? He's the dumb twin. And he looked at me, and I said, I am. And he came from behind his desk. He said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Do you hear me? I said, yes, sir. Now, Mama said, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. How many know that words can hurt you? And very deeply. But on that day, like the speakers and coaches and people who now are looking at how can I begin to reinvent myself, they can be a voice of hope, as he was for me, a voice of harmony, helping me to be in alignment with this new vision that I had of myself, and of the power that we have within us to turn the page and become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in our lives. So he taught me three things that I want to share with you. Number one, work on your mind. He said, Mr. Brown, you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. Work on your mind. Even at 80, I read 30 to 40 pages of something every day that's positive to feed my mind, to restructure my thinking. We have been programmed to live a small life, and you have greatness in you to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. The other thing that he said, practice OQP, only quality people. He said you earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. Harvard University did a study of 1%ers, and this is something they call their reference group, and they found the people who were top achievers, that 1%, who were able to do things extraordinary to impact and build their own economy and make history. They had a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. The Academy Award winner Sidney Poitier said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. Either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? When I found that out, I got all the broke people out of my life. I used to be so broke, I walked past a bank and tripped the alarm. I remember creditors call the house and my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. Don't tell him like that. Sometimes they would catch me, may I speak to Mr. Brown, please? I'm sorry, but he's not here. You sound like Mr. Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. The other thing is develop your communication skills. He said develop your mind, practice OQP, and develop your ability to present yourself. Because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Now, I wanted to become a disc jockey, and that was very important to me. And he told me, study the people that are doing what you want to do. And I'm encouraging you, as you look at yourself, don't be intimidated by the things that are going on and the creative destruction that's taking place right now. Find people doing what you want to do and doing it at the level that you want to do it, and study them. I did that. And the other thing is, for those of you that are speakers and that are coaches, know more than your story. Live an achievement-driven life. Some people say, practice what you preach. I say, no, preach what you practice. I ran for the Ohio legislature, and against all odds, I said, there's no way he can win. He doesn't have the money. He's never ran for office. He doesn't have a college education. but I had a story, and I talked about my mother, and I had my mother to cut a commercial for me. And I said, Mama, say something for me. She said, hello, this is Mrs. Mimi Brown. When I raised my boys, I raised them to be good boys. When they got out of hand, I beat their behinds. Please vote for my son. He's a good boy. I beat a 22-year incumbent, the power of a story. I became the chairman of the education committee, the resource committee. I didn't even know I had the ability to do that. I don't know you, but here's what I know about you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Sometimes we have to become intelligently ignorant. But here's something very important. What's your why? What is it that drives you? My grandchildren, they call me Papa. Papa, what is it that keeps you going? I said, I always want to make my mother proud of me. Nietzsche said, if you know for the why for living, you can endure almost anyhow. Why is that important? Because you're going to fail your way to success. Things are going to happen to you that you can't see coming. Think it not strange that you're going to face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. After 35, life intensifies. You don't get 30 days after the month. If you got a lot of bills, you say, didn't I just pay that bill last month? Life picks up speed. I'm telling you what I know. At 80, I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now that I'm 80, I feel like I served at the Lord's Supper. But I got some good tips up in here. Find your why. So when the tough times come, and they're going to come, Walt Disney filed bankruptcy 7 times and had 2 nervous breakdowns. When the tough times come, your reason will be your rod and staff to comfort you. Walter P. Chrysler failed in the automobile industry 49 times. So I decided I was going to become a speaker. I worked on my communication skills. Invest in yourself. Learn how to present yourself. Don't be intimidated by artificial intelligence. Brand up. Associate with people that are doing what you want to do. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, he wrote the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. I developed a relationship with him because he said, best known beats best. You're very good, young man, but you're not known. You want to associate with someone that's known. And as a result of that, proximity gives power. You will begin to have some breakthroughs. You will surprise yourself. How many of you have ever had some experiences and you said to yourself, I can't believe I'm doing this? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. When I spoke at Harvard, I said, I'm here. They labeled me educable, mentally retarded. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's amazing. When I won the Golden Gavel Award from Toastmasters, I kept saying, I can't believe I'm doing this. When they selected the top 5 speakers on the planet, General Norman Schwarzkopf, Robert Schuller, Leon Coco, Paul Harvey, and myself. I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you. You have something special. You've got greatness in you, but you've got to be hungry. What do you mean by that? People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. They're willing to study. They're willing to challenge themselves. They're willing to go outside of their comfort zone. Why is that important? Because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. You've got to die to who you are now to give birth to who you were chosen out of 400 million sperm to become. The people that are going to make it in this age of AI, they have a mindset. They have a hunger. I'm going to do it no matter what. I promised my mother, you'll never go to a nursing home. My sister called me, Leslie, are you sitting down? What's wrong with Mama? Mama has breast cancer. Oh, but don't worry about it. We have a lot of nursing homes here in Dade County. Listen to me. I promised Mama I'll take care of her. You just got elected to the Ohio legislature. I don't care. I'll be there tomorrow. And the next day, when I flew into Miami and rang the doorbell, a friend of hers named Miss Mildred answered the door. She said, oh my God, Leslie. And I heard my mother ask, Mildred, who is it? It's Leslie, Mamie. And she said, I knew he would come. I knew my boy would come. Who is it that you love that was there for you, that if something happened to them, that you would show up? How many of you got somebody like that in your life? that you will be there for them no matter what. And so I say to you, in this era of accelerated change, overwhelming complexity and tremendous competition, you've got to do as Peter Drucker said, you've got to be willing to unlearn, because the things that we have learned in the past won't help us. There are people failing today that have the capacity to win, but they're trying to open up new doors of opportunity in this golden age with an old mindset. There are three types of people in this world. There are winners, there are losers, and there are winners who have not discovered how to win. Don't stop learning. You have something special. Always strive to get on top in life, because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Thank you.